сяя, чискут стан снат сливати. I had the honor of doing ceremony here in the territories here for about 20 years, just a short time. Got adopted into the Crow Dog family down in Rosebud, and also adopted into my Auntie Faith Spotted Eagle and my Uncle Phil Lane. You know, I recognize and see the similarities of what we have in our ceremonies. How you use your fire, how you use your medicine, how you use that tree to open that door to Kinkashala, to Chasiam, we say. We do the similar thing. You have the medicine wheel, we have the 4 points of our longhouse. And that tree is sacred. It starts to teach us, like the trees that we use to hold up our longhouse. Those are sacred. What it starts to teach us is a reciprocal relationship between us as human beings and having a spirit and with Mother Earth and her spirit. That's a reciprocal relationship that feeds our spirit and helps us to feel better. In ceremony, we honor that. In ceremony, we recognize that. In ceremony, we teach ourselves that love that we get from Mother Earth and how she regenerates life. She's always going to regenerate herself. And that's the lessons that we get when we go to ceremony. If we're broken, we go to ceremony and we ask the ancestors to pick us up with those elements of Mother Earth. Because of that reciprocal relationship that we share with all of our nations, all across Turtle Island, we don't want that severed in any way. When they do fracking, or when they dig for oil, whatever how they do it, there is no good way to do it. We went up to the Alberta tar sands with Jewel, and I seen a sister roll up her sleeve to her elbow, and I seen blisters, and she said, "This is all over my body." She said, "My children are in the hospital. They're getting treated for cancer." And I was holding a bottle of water, and she goes, "That's the only way we can bath and drink and feed our kids, is with what you're holding is a bottle of water." They said if we bath our kids for more than 2 minutes at a time, they will get sick and get cancer, and that's what happened to our children. Those people came to my community, and they talked to us. Because we had a referendum. These oil companies in Canada, they're not just throwing a little bit of money around, they're offering $250 million. I heard $1.6 billion to one nation. You know, that money would help a lot of our people out of poverty. We're only 3% of Canada's population, but we're 40% of homeless still. 40% of the jail population, 40% of school dropouts. Statistically, it's still bad. That $1 billion would help my people out of poverty. They wouldn't have had a referendum in the community like they did with mine. And they asked them, we told them, we said, you can negotiate or fight them with little bit resources that we have. That nation up north, when they offered them $1 billion, 1,000 people voted, and it was 100% consensus to fight them. Because that reciprocal relationship that I'm talking about, what we get out of our ceremonies, can't be severed. Because money couldn't heal us the way Mother Earth has been healing in us, in our ceremonies. And the same as my community. When it was time to vote, my mother stood up and she said, "We're not going to vote. All the world's going to do is say no. So when you stand up, every single one of your butts are going to be out of those seats." And she said, "You're going to warrior up." And again, it was 100% consensus to say no to these pipelines. When we went to our elders in the community, we told them, we said, Kinder Morgan's a $160 billion company. It's feeding an industry in the States that's a $750 billion to $1 trillion industry annually. And Canada's the biggest provider. They bought the government and they bought the media. And I said, what do we have? And the elder said, it's easy. We have spirit. And they said, when we win, we'll change the world. And that's what's happening. And that's what I see here. I see you standing up the same way. That the spirit that we have can't be broken. The reciprocal relationship that we have to spirit can't be broken. And we'll do whatever it takes. We'll do whatever it takes. The Tsleil-Waututh Nation has always said that. We're close neighbors, right across. We don't even look at the border. These are my relatives, Lemmy. They're my close relatives. We went to you first. We talked about this first with Jewel and others, and talked about how we could work with one another. And we did that here with Auntie, just to work, to stop.
With our relation that we're standing up against Keystone. We did the same thing with our relation standing up against Enbridge. When we started working with all our relations, we stopped all directions of the pipeline. We stopped all directions. Because the Alberta tar sands, the size of Earth they want to move is the size of Texas. It makes Canada, even though our population is smaller than the whole state of California. We're only 30 million people, but Canada is the #1 polluter. The #1 polluter. And that's what we're stopping. But there's no good way to get it out of the ground, to make it safe. Like you said, those people were dying. Our elder said that's reason enough for us to say no when our relations are dying. And that's why we stand up and we fight. That's why we come here to stand with you in solidarity. That's why we come here to want to fight with you. And do whatever it takes to make sure this doesn't happen.
To save what we have, to never sever that sacred tie between ourselves and spirit, between ourselves and the reciprocal relationship to what Mother Earth is a spirit. And all that she feeds us and all that she gives us. So I love you, my relations. I really love you and I hold you up. My relations from the coast, when we lift up our hands, we lift up and we honor you. We lift you up and honor you for the good work that you're doing. Telling the world that this isn't the way to go. We're not protesters, we're protectors. We're sticking up for what we love. We're sticking up for what we love. And that's what I learned from the beautiful people from your territory. My adoptive father, Crow Dog. Leonard Crow Dog taught me this. They taught me the same teachings at home in our longhouse. Went to Lummi and they taught me the same thing. That it's worth it. No money could feed me my spirit the way our ceremonies do. No money could feed me the way my spirit's going to be fed while I'm here. Time out of mind, you've been taking care of this land and doing ceremony of this land. All of us that are visitors here, we're reaping the benefits of the reciprocal relationship that you had and you continue to have and what you protect. And we honor for you. We honor you for that. And for my leadership in Vancouver, Canada, the Tsleil-Waututh people, we lift you up and say, Hoichka, thank you very much, Hoichka CMCI.